Ready when you are ready, Angela.
All right, thank you again for coming on tonight. This is the webinar for Purdue University's Early Start program in West Lafayette, Indiana. On the call tonight or on the Zoom tonight is myself. Like I said, I'm Angela Zickman. There's a picture of my husband and my daughter. My daughter's a senior here, my youngest child, is graduating in May in speech therapy. Um, Miranda McCarty is on. She's my Early Start Outreach Coordinator. We're the two main people that if you come to campus this summer, we'll be working together. We also have Seth on the call. He was an Early Start student last year. He graduated from Purdue Polytech High School in Indianapolis. He was an Early Start student. He is a physics major, and he's going to be a peer mentor for us this summer. Leela Mixon is also on the call. She's the director of the Office of Summer Winter Sessions. And we also have Anna, who is our data analysis, and she's in the background answering any questions you might put in the chat or any technical difficulties you might be having, you can put there. We're also going to answer all your questions at the end. So stay on if you have any questions, and we'll let you unmute and talk and have more of a natural conversation, hopefully. I just wanted to shout out again, we've got people from Ohio, Illinois, Kansas, California, Arizona, Maine, Massachusetts. Did I say Texas, Miami, India, Pakistan? So congratulations, you guys. This was Purdue's largest application year ever. We had 70,000 applications and they gave about 20 offers. So congratulations on getting accepted to Purdue this year. It was one of the biggest years. So this program is called Early Start, and it's exactly what the name entails. It's a 5-week program where you come to campus early. So instead of moving in on August 17th and the weekend, before classes start on August 23rd, you move in on July 12th. We have a great weekend of orientation led by our peer mentors, and then you actually start taking Purdue classes on the 14th of July. They're 5-week classes. They're courses in your major, and you start taking actual college courses that are required for your graduation and building your GPA. There's a lot of benefits to this program, and we really see a lot of STEM majors. I can tell from the people on. There's cybersecurity, first-year engineers on, chemistry, kinesiology, flight. Got a couple people from Mitch Daniels Business School on here. But it's really meant to help you get ahead academically in your classwork. It helps you settle in because for the program, you will move into the dorm room you're going to have for the entire school year. So you're going to get to be able to move into your dorm room or your residence hall, get settled in, like figure out where you're putting your toothbrush, get used to going down the hall and showering, eating in the dining halls, and also taking classes. But it's a holistic way for you just to transition. It gives you more time, that 5 weeks, because you are taking smaller classes. The model we use is peer mentors. So Miranda and I work year round, orchestrating and managing the program, and then we hire about 50 upperclassmen to be mentors. You'll be put in a group about 10 other students in similar majors. You'll have a peer mentor or a leader like Seth, who's in your major, or a similar major. And they can, the mentor helps you just navigate campus, answer any of your questions, tell you where to eat, how to use your meal card, big things, little things, and everything in between. This is a time for you to build confidence and get going. You're going to make a lot of friends because everybody's in the same boat and everybody's wanting to be successful at college. You get to know people, you're going to study together, you're going to eat together. We have a lot of fun activities too in the evenings and on the weekends to get you settled in. The classes are smaller sized in the summer. They are It's different than high school because in high school you're in college is different, obviously, but in high school you're in class from 7:30 to 3 o'clock every day. College is very different. You might only have 2 hours of class one day. The rest is not free time though, and so we're going to help you navigate this new routine and then this new way of studying. Now, like we said, you will be taking courses in your major that are for graduation. And the questions everybody always asks us that we want to just give you a heads up on is transferring your credits that you earned in high school. So if you have AP credits in high school that you want to register with Purdue, you need to go to the College Board website, retrieve all your scores from your AP tests, and email those to admission@purdue.edu. If you have dual credit classes, you need to reach out to the universities that those classes were sanctioned under and get transcripts for those classes. And you can go, every college has a transcript portal. So you'll have to navigate those, get your transcripts, and again, send them to admissions@purdue.edu. So what happens is if you accept your offer at Purdue, um, about 2 days later, your new student checklist will show up and there'll be an early start button on your new student checklist. You can change to early start that way. 2 days after that, you can do all your housing contracts. It takes 2 or 3 days just in the portal to move everything around. What happens on May 2nd is you will receive a module in your portal called Purdue 101. Once you complete that Purdue 101, your advisor that you will have for your 4 years here at Purdue will reach out to you, and the advisor will help you choose courses for the summer session and the fall session. So we get a lot of anxious emails on students and parents trying to figure out what they should take in the summer. But that's how it works. How did it work for you, Seth, when you started an early start?
Yeah, so it was pretty similar to the process that you were talking about before. Once I registered for the Early Start program, the Purdue 101 came out. I completed that, I think, within the time frame of the same week that it appeared on my Brightspace. And then within the next couple of business days, I got an email from my advisor saying, "Hey, I see that you've completed Purdue 101. Schedule a meeting with me within this time frame so we can get your summer and fall classes registered." A good habit to start building is to go ahead and, before you meet with your advisor, look at what your degree plan for the major that you were accepted into looks like, so you can start thinking about what classes you're going to need. Your advisor will have a really good idea of what those classes are, but going into the meeting beforehand, having some idea of what might interest you or what might be easier to do in 5 weeks rather than a whole semester is a good idea going into that meeting. Now, you should have that meeting. I believe I had it sometime in the middle of June, uh, a couple weeks before the early start program happens, and then you're registered for everything once you get here that second week of July.
What classes did you take last summer, Seth?
Yeah, so I took Sociology 120 and History 152, which was respectively social problems and US history from 1877 to 1980s. I chose both these classes because I figured doing some STEM might be a little bit more challenging to do in 5 weeks than something like humanities or a social science. And I needed both of those for my gen ed. And me personally, I would prefer to be doing STEM classes over humanities or social sciences. So I figured, oh, if I can get these over within 5 weeks, that would be more preferable than taking them for the entire 16-week semester. So those are the classes I took for the 5 weeks. I really enjoyed both of them. Um, really small class sizes. The sociology class, I believe, was the bigger one at about 20 students, but the history class was as little as 9. There were only 9 of us in there, which was really nice. In both classes, I got to know the professor really well. It was definitely a little bit faster paced because of the time constraint, but it wasn't necessarily rushed, at least in my opinion. And then once I got to the fall, I had some extra gen ed credits on my transcript, and it also helped boost my GPA in the fall because I had credits I'd earned a high grade for over the summer.
Yeah, so if any of you guys are students in engineering, you will actually be taking Engineering 131, which is the required freshman sequential class to transfer out of FYE. And that's great in the summer because it's obviously smaller and you can really focus. So obviously we're a university, so we're focused on classes, but we also have a lot of fun in the evenings and the weekends. We want you to have an approach. We figured out at Purdue, obviously, that to be successful, you have to be successful in your classes and know how to study, but you also need to learn how to relax and live here. And so the bottom picture, I don't know if we have any alumni parents out there, that's Slater Hill. So in the summer, there's concerts, but that's also the place in the fall we do tailgating, and in the winter they do sledding on, I don't know, couches and scooters and skateboards. And did you participate in the sledding, Seth?
I did not because I have some sort of sense of self-preservation, but I know that many trash can lids, backpacks, um, just sheets of metal from Bechtel I've seen gone down, VO scooters, pretty much anything that had a little less friction was going down that hill at some point, especially with the snow.
Yeah, we do not encourage that. So we do good, clean, fun in the summer and show your student how to get on. We also buy bus passes. So, and the upperclassmen help the freshmen figure out how to get to Walmart and Meijer, and so forth. So we do a lot of fun stuff. These are some quotes for more of the students last year. I also am the director of the learning community. We have a learning community that can follow up early start, and just got a lot of feedback from the students that they just felt comfortable once they got here and were able to get going. So I want to definitely talk to you about the timelines because we're really coming up on it. So April 15th is the priority deadline to switch to early start. It's also the priority deadline for housing for the fall semester. So how the timeline goes, though, you really have to accept your offer by April 12th and pay your deposit because it takes 2 to 3 days to build your portal in the system. So you need to accept your offer and you have to wait 2 to 3 days to fill out your housing contract for fall. Also, it takes 2 or 3 days if you want to switch to early start after you accept your offer. And the same thing is true if you switch to early start, you have to wait 2 or 3 days to fill out a summer housing contract. The last day to complete the summer housing application for early start is May 30th. So that means you need to switch at least by May 27th. Let's see, the other thing we have is we do have a totally online program, and the final day to switch for that is May 30th. If you're coming to campus, we're going to have a move-in informational webinar on June 19th. Again, you're going to be moving into the dorm room for the most part that you're going to be living in all year. The only caveat I want to add is we have a 1 floor in the Honors College. So if we fill that floor, you might have to live in a different residence hall and then move to the Honors College. That did not happen last year, but I just want to say that as a possibility. We do use Earhart, Shreve, and Harrison. We use those resident halls because they are air conditioned, and there's a dining hall there in Earhart. You move in on July 12th. We'll have orientation the 12th and the 13th, and you start class on the 14th. These are the prices and the costs for on campus. These are on our website if I go too quickly. It all depends on if you're in-state, out-of-state, international. The fees might also change depending on what university housing you choose. Like I said, well, we have a commuter. I haven't talked about that at all, but if you live close or have an off-campus housing, we do have a commuter option. And then we have a fully online option also that you can choose when you're switching. Financial aid came out about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now at Purdue, and Purdue does not send anything out in the mail. So I get students that have said, oh, I didn't receive any financial aid from Purdue, but you have to go into your portal and look for it. So financial aid offers or the preliminary offers are out. You can use financial aid in the summer for this program. Purdue also has a summer aid application, which is completely a separate bucket of funds than the FAFSA. So do fill that out if you're interested. And then our office also offers scholarships. There's the QR code, and the link is also to fill out the application for the scholarship on our website as well. Here's actually how you switch to early start. So like I said, 2 to 3 days after you accept your offer, the new student checklist pops up. You go to reply forms, and then the first form that shows is the switch to early start, and you click that button and move through. Like I said, we also have a learning community. I know if you're looking at Purdue, we have a lot of learning communities on campus, but Early Start just gives you a lot of foundation and support, and we don't want that to end as soon as fall comes. And it follows in fall and spring. Seth, you were in that learning community. Let's see, the learning community has a 1-hour class with it. It has coaching. Miranda and I coach, and we'll meet with you at least 5 times that semester. We get together and do events with all the students in the learning community. We do lunches with faculty members, help you work on resumes, just all over support the fall and the spring semester. Seth, what did you think about the GS classes or the 1-hour classes associated with this?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth the time commitment that you have to give to it, right? It's only a 1 credit hour seminar, so you're only going once a week in the fall, which is really not that bad considering the information that you get. For me personally, I found the most helpful the connection to each of the resources on campus really helpful. I know the tour of the libraries was really nice because that's how I ended up finding where now is my most common study space. The connection to the Academic Success Center was really nice. Getting to learn more about the SI sessions and everything that runs through this Academic Success Center. And the other resources that we got to work with as a part of this learning community. Obviously, those resources are available to everybody, but I think Purdue has so many resources that sometimes it's hard to navigate them. And so having a learning community that almost acts as a guide to navigate those resources is really nice, especially as an incoming freshman.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Seth. So Purdue is big, and we have so much to offer. It's really like a big buffet table or smorgasbord. And sometimes students come and they just want to do stuff that's comfortable to them. Maybe like just, eat off I don't know, the breadsticks and the cheese, And so we try to show you an early start in the summer and then on through the learning community through the whole year. All Purdue has to offer to help you academically. There's so many, like he was saying, the Academic Resource Center. There's supplement education or instruction you can go to. There's a presentation office where you can go and get help on giving presentations. There's Purdue OWL that help, just on and on resources that are available to you when you need help academically. There's 1,000 clubs. And what we do through the learning community and Early Start is just really expose you to as much as we can in a comfortable way. So it's kind of awkward to go to new things by yourself. In the learning community and with Early Start, you always have somebody to go with. We go in pairs, we go in groups, you can go with your mentor. It just makes campus just more accessible and easier to use. Wouldn't you? I mean, did you found that? I know you did, Seth, because we did the libraries, we did a ton of resource centers. We also went to fun events around campus, like Starry Night is a street fair they do in October. And so we balance extracurricular and academics. So there's also a scholarship that comes along with this, $1,000 scholarship that it can be awarded with GPA requirements and engagement requirements. These are 5 specialty summer programs that we partner with. So if you're interested or already working with one of these 5 programs, we work in conjunction with them. So it's not you have to pick one or the other. We work together. And then international students, want to throw this in and say your timeline is a little different. If you're an international student, you need to switch to early start by April 15th. So the ISS office, or International Student Scholars Office, can process your paperwork and get your student visas in plenty of time. So here's ways to contact the ISS Department, International Students and Scholars. But what happens is once you switch to early start, you come across my tracker. I give your name to ISS and they will reach out to you to start your paperwork. And so these are ways to get a hold of them, but know that that process is helped. We're at the end here. Does anybody have any questions? Or Anna, if you want to pop up, did we have any common questions that we should answer out loud?